Quick question for you. Have you ever asked yourself what is a trading edge? Think about it real quick. A trading edge is a system that gives you an advantage over the market. So today I'm going to show you one thing that can give you a huge advantage with your trading system. Let's get it. Alright, so before we get started with this video, I wanted to show y'all, some of my withdrawals just to show y'all some transparency before I start giving out some advice. This isn't me trying to sell you on a mentorship. I don't have a mentorship anymore because I want to focus on more on my trading this year, but I still want to help y'all out for free. So I'm giving out a lot of games. So I'm just showing y'all this is some deals transactions with prop firms right here when deal did work with prop firms. So these are some of the withdrawals right here. Except this one. This one was an affiliate payment right here from that company. I stopped working with affiliate for that company after prop firms became a bit shady and stuff like that. These are all documented on my channel because my channel is all about showing my journey as a trader while giving advice based on my experience because um I've been trading since 2020. It's 2025. This same company, this prop firm, then moved on to definitive pay. These are the withdrawals, all documented on my channel. Then my most recent withdrawal is this right here. I had a losing month in January, February so far. I didn't take any trades. And let me just refresh all the pages for y'all, just for transparency before I start this video. Boom, boom, and come on, deal. And boom, right here. I think this was a affiliate payment too. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But let's get into it. So the problem, let's talk about the problem. The problem I see with a lot of traders, why they don't have an edge or a huge advantage, is because they like to, whenever they don't like to be wrong, right? And because they don't like to be wrong, they like to hold on to their winners and cut their losses short. So we all know this is a problem with people. For if you look at my Google Docs, I tested my system multiple times. These are a whole bunch of Google Docs on my same system over and over and over. I do the same things that I tell y'all to do, especially if you watch my how to fix your psychology video in the last one. So what I implemented, I think it was around October, November, was cutting my losses, right? And why is this such a big deal? When you cut your losses and you let your winners run, you already put yourself ahead of a lot of people, or you already develop a very huge advantage with your system, an edge, because you don't need to win a lot to make profit, and it only takes one trade to potentially cover multiple strings of losses. If you get what I'm saying, because mind you, you're cutting your losses, but you're not cutting your losses on your winners. So the next thing is how do I know when to cut a loss, right? You know when to cut a loss based on your overall data. So if you haven't been back testing your system, you haven't been journaling, you didn't do the work prior, then you're not going to know any of that. So I recommend you to watch my previous video on psychology, right? Because the work that you need to do prior is very important to even know what to do, to even determine whether you should cut a loss or not. So we're gonna use this one as an example right here. It only has 44 trades. I'm still adding on my free time because I still test because you need to improve no matter what. Even if you are profitable, you still need to improve. That's what it's all about. So right here we have 11 trades, 25% win rate, 24 losses, 54 loss rate, 10 break evens, 22 break even rate with a max drawdown of 6.62. So what do you
You're probably asking how, what do I do to cut my personal losses? I told you, I told y'all that in my strategy video, but I'm gonna tell y'all that again. And simply, if we look at the images right here, I'm gonna just show y'all some examples. I cut my loss based on the break of the 20 right here. So I take a buy stop. So whenever we have a move up, we have a pause right here. I'm looking for the buy stop as long as it still looks clean. I got tagged in, but price broke bearish right here under that 20. So I immediately cut the loss right here. And that creates a huge advantage because like I said, this profitable trading is just math. As long as you can make more on your winners than losses, you're good. You don't need to win high or nothing. A lot of people think they need to increase their win rate to make more money, but that's not necessarily the case. You can do other things that can make you more profitable, like cutting your losses per trade. And if you have a system that allows you to potentially catch a runner that's very powerful, like a system like mine. So if you look at my system right here, my system is all about catching a potential runner. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes I may get a 1 hour gain, 2 hour gain, but occasionally I may get a 5 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour gain, which like I said, creates a huge advantage. So the first trade I took was this cut loss. Now, if you notice, the second trade that I took automatically puts me way ahead of this loss. Because mind you, we cut the loss here, but the rules weren't meant to cut a loss here, right? Because I implemented a rule based on what my winners look like. Look at this. Buy stop goes in. If you want to know my trade management, I'm not talking about it in this video, but just check out my strategy video. I think it's called the strategy that got me funded with 250,000, right? So I managed it, ended up getting plus 2.8R. This specific trade, the rule wasn't meant to cut the loss, so it was an instant -1. Sometimes that's gonna happen. Then boom, a win that just puts it above. Look, this is a system that allows you to catch a potential huge winner, but cut your losses. That gives you an unfair advantage. So what you need to do is I need you to collect a lot of data on your system. So if you don't even have data on your system, please watch the video on psychology. It goes hand in hand, right? After you do those steps, you need to study it. And then once you identify the differences between what your most of your winners look like versus losses and break evens, then you can implement your own rule that can allow you to save money and make more profits, right? Let me go to another example of a cut loss, like right here, 0.25. Let's see what it looks like. So there was multiple reasons right here. So for me, we got tagged and it was going good, and then we just was chopping around, not doing anything. Why did I notice this? Because most of my winners, if they want to go, they're not gonna just chop around right here. And then on top of that, we ended up breaking that 20 right here. So yeah, I'm gonna cut the loss. I'm gonna give y'all an example of a winner that just was crazy, like this one, 8.39. That's what I'm saying. When you have a system that allows you to potentially catch a winner, it's very powerful. So I'm not sitting here looking for a 6R every trade because the market doesn't have to give you that 6R every trade. But based on rules, you can manage to potentially get like a 6R trade. So look at this. Insane right here. Insane. So we got a double entry. You see, it rejected off of that 20. Continue going on, and I managed it. This didn't tag out at breaking, but by the way, y'all, I did zoom in, and it didn't tag out at break even, just in case y'all was wondering. Because one thing you got to do is be very honest in your back testing. Because if you're not honest in your back testing, you're gonna have very different results on your own on the live account, and you're not going to trust your system. So I don't know if I mentioned this. Yeah, I think I already did mention this. So I'm not gonna talk about that. Let's also talk about drawdown. Another huge advantage of having a system where you're cutting losses and stuff like that is your drawdown will be less, even though if you have a, a long losing streak. So what do I mean like that? So let's say on average, the system allows me to cut my loss by half, right? While risking 1%, right? Let's just say I happen to take 12 losses in a row for some reason, like the market condition for some reason it was bad or something happened, but you still followed your rules for cutting the loss. Instead of being down 12%, you're only down 6%, which is very huge. And then, mind you, you still have winners that may, like, you still have your potential winners that may come when you place another trade at 1% risk, expecting, like, um, a trend to unfold out of it. So, if you notice on my back testing right here, the drawdown for this total of 44 trades is 6.62, right? So if we go to over here, I think it was right here when it started. Let's look at the losses. We had one loss, two loss, three loss, four loss, break even, five loss, six loss, seven loss, eight loss, nine losses in a row before we get a win. And this win doesn't even put us on to cover up our previous losses right here. And then we take losses, losses, losses. So you notice how a lot of people, when they're taking this much losses, their psychology could be like, oh, I'm doing something bad. And that the reason why they're doing that is because they haven't tested their system enough to have confidence no matter the losses. Because if I take all these losses in on my prop firm accounts or live account or anything like that, I'm gonna still have confidence to trade because this is not the like I collected so much data. Y'all don't understand how much data. Like if you know me, I'm always, always, always testing right here. And you notice how even though I took that many losses, the drawdown is only 6.62. Amazing. Now imagine if I combine this with all my other back testing. Amazing, powerful. And that's why I recently implemented cut and losses. It's very powerful, especially if you're going for a prop firm account. Let me give y'all the source real quick. So you know our most prop firm, Forex prop firm accounts have a max drawdown of 10%. A lot of people say let's risk half a percent. Me personally, I risk 0.65. Now, let's say if you just wanted to risk 1%, technically you could with a system like this because you're on average, if you're cutting your losses on half by half based on the rule, if it allows you to, then you have more room to play with of drawdown per trade while still maximizing your winners. And this is why cutting losses creates a huge unfair advantage